Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we're covering Mobile App Advanced. This webinar will cover the work queue, creating new appointments. We'll go over checklists, proposals and invoices, financing, maintenance plans, proposal comparisons, purchase orders, review requests, and a live Q&A at the end where you'll be able to get your questions answered live on stream. Now, just as a disclaimer, today is the advanced version of our mobile app webinar, so I assume that you already know the basics. If not, that's okay. I just recommend either attending our beginner basics mobile app webinar, or you can just watch the replay, which I will show you where to find that at the end, and you can watch that on your own time. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We will dive into the WEX FSM mobile app. The first thing we will talk about is the work queue. So as you know, when you first log in, you will be on the Jobs tab. You'll see your appointments are here. These are the appointments that have been scheduled to you, and they're already on your schedule page, and you will be working these this day. But we also have a work queue, and that is at the bottom here, and you just tap work queue. And the work queue are draft appointments. They're appointments that don't have quite all the information yet needed to schedule. There is service requests and unassigned appointments. Service requests are just a request for service. It's a good reminder for services you need to do in the future, but these do not have a date, a time, or a technician assigned. When you create a service request, you are able to put in which customer you need to service. You can put in notes about the service, the duration. You can get it prepped and ready. You just won't add in the actual date, time, and technician. Unassigned appointments are for appointments where you know the date, you know the time. The last missing piece is you're not sure which technician is going to run this. So service requests is usually for things that you know you're going to do in the near to far future. Unassigned appointments, you already know the date. You just have to pick your technician to officially schedule it. From here, you can use the filters if you tap this little filter icon in the top right, and you can show your work queue items from oldest to newest, newest to oldest, and select by job type or coverage zones. If you want to assign one of these to yourself, or maybe you're a service manager working in the field and you are determining who is going to run these jobs, all you do is tap on the appointment. For an unassigned appointment, the only thing that you need to do is assign a technician, and that is right here. It says primary tech. We'll select who is going to go run this and tap OK, and then hit save. Now that will be pulled out of the work queue and put onto the technician that you assigned it to. Let's go back to the work queue here. And for service requests, you will tap on the service request. And for this, you need to add a little more info. You need to enter the date and time. So you just click on date and time and you'll see a calendar and you can select that. Let's say we'll go out there on Monday at 11 a.m. Oh, I'm on a computer, so I do need to use my scroll mouse here, but you on the mobile app would use your finger. And once you have that, you'll hit done. You also will need to select a technician. And if you do want to add any additional technicians, you hit the plus sign here. That will add an additional tech field, and then you can just select who you want as the additional technician. When you schedule this, it will then put an appointment on anyone that you have added to the tech section. If you want to delete a technician, you simply tap the trash can icon. Add any tags that you want, any notes that you want. When creating the appointment, these notes right here, appointment notes, are not customer facing. So, if you need to put some information in there that maybe you don't want your customer to see, that's fine. These are not going to be shown to the customer. You can also update notification preferences, which would be scheduled is going to send a confirmation to your customer that this appointment has been scheduled. If you're scheduling it far in the future, maybe you want to turn on some reminders for your customer to, be on location when you get there. And if you turn on en route, that will allow a on my way message to go to the customer when your technician says on my way when working the appointment. When you're done, just tap save, and then that will pull that out of the work queue and add that to the dispatch board for anyone you have assigned this to. So that is an overview of the work queue. And just as an example, if I'm working in the field, maybe I finish my job early, I'm done for the day, and I can look at the work queue and see, am I close to any of these? Could I assign one of these to myself and then go work that job? I also have some customers who they use the work queue exclusively, and their whole team looks at the work queue and assigns things to themselves, or you have a service manager who is then delegating where those go each morning. Next, let's talk about creating appointments. You can create appointments from the desktop version. So if you're working in the office, you can create those new appointments there, but you can also do that from the mobile app. In the mobile app, to create a new appointment, you will tap new appointment here. And you have two options. You can do add appointment, which is going to be a customer facing appointment. And then other event is if you want to just create an internal event that's not related to a job, it's not related to a customer. That's great for setting up things like a sales meeting. Maybe you want to pull everyone in and talk about sales. But for today's example, we'll do a customer appointment and tap add appointment. Select your customer. And now we are creating the appointment. So you have two options here. You can schedule now, which means you know the date, the time, and the technician. It's ready to go on the dispatch board. Or create a service request. So we talked about the work queue earlier. If you want to create a work queue item, you can create service request. For a service request, you only need to know the job. Is this a new job or does this relate to a previous job? What is the job type? You will tag this as a job type for reporting and set the duration. If you know this is going to be a big install, maybe you want this to be 2 or 3 hours instead of 1 hour when you actually go to schedule. Schedule now is what we'll do today. And so from here, a couple details about this. The job location, you can tap on job location and show all locations for this customer. Let's say that we, want to go and work on the rental property today. You would select that. And then your frequency, start date and time. You just tap on the start date and time. It'll bring up your calendar here. Let's say we want to do this today at, so let's switch to PM. 12, and we'll do 12 o'clock p.m. Cool. And then tap done. Select your primary technician or add new if you want. Add any tags, any notes, and select your notification preferences. Let's send them a appointment confirmation and an en route notification and tap save. Once you have all of the details here, which actually let's go ahead and add some notes so we know what this is about. This is a note about the job. Don't forget these things. 1, 2, 3. And then maybe there's a gate code and tap save. Once you have everything ready here, you will tap save in the top right. Now, I do want to show you this. If you want to assign this to a technician later, maybe I'm not sure which technician is actually going to run this job yet, you can select assign technician later, and that will save in the work queue as an unassigned appointment. So it'll have the date, the time, notes, everything else. It's ready to go, but I'm just not sure who's going to run it yet. So I would do assign later. When you're done, tap save. And that will officially schedule the appointment. All right. Next, let's take a look at some tools that you can use when running appointments. Let's choose Emily Davis here. And if you scroll down, you'll notice you have a lot of different tools that you can use here. The first one we'll look at today is checklists. So you'll just tap on checklists. Any checklists that have been added, maybe you have them set to auto attach by job type, you will see those here. But we don't have any checklists for this, so we need to add a new one. We will tap new. Select our checklist. Let's just do a general service call checklist and create. This will allow you, depending on how you have this checklist set up, you may have some multiple choice. Maybe there is an item that you want to write a short answer about. And maybe one of the items don't really apply to this particular job, so we can just tap skip. Comments, add those if needed, and then mark who completed this checklist. When you're done, you can tap save. Now, you don't need to fill the checklist out right away. You can create the checklist and just save it blank, and then your technician would fill that out later. And right now it's saying it's incomplete. Let's go see. Aha. So you do need to check the box that this has been addressed in order for that to fully mark as complete. So we can see now it is a completed checklist. If you slide your finger on the app to the right, it will reveal sending to the customer. So if you want, you could send this to them. View a PDF, which will show you just a PDF version of the checklist. And if you slide your finger to the left, you will be able to delete the checklist if you want to get rid of it. All right, so that is checklists. Let's go back. We're going to tap the back button here. And now let's take a look at proposals and invoices. We will create a proposal, convert it to an invoice, and take payment. First, go down to proposals and tap proposals. If any pre-existing proposals are here, maybe you set up your proposals in the office and then your technician would use that proposal out in the field. Those would already be here if that was preset, but this job does not have any, so let's create a new one. We're going to tap New to create a new proposal. Like normal, you can copy from existing if you want, but let's do New Proposal today. And we'll just start at the top, work our way down here. At the very top, you have the customer's name, and this is how you can edit the proposal details. So tap on the customer's name. You can name the proposal if you want. You can mark this as a favorite. As a pro tip, let's say you're building this proposal and you know that this is a really good proposal that you could use for future jobs that are exactly the same. We have the copy feature. When you're copying, when you hit copy from existing, it's going to first pull up all your favorites and you'll see the name. And so if this is a, furnace install and mark this as a favorite, oh, tap over here. When I save this, that'll be added to favorites. And if I want to do another furnace install in the future with these same criteria, I just use that copy feature. From here, you can also update the technician. You can add a custom field. And right here, you can update pricing settings, or I guess the pricing strategy. Right now in my system, I have standard pricing, maintenance plan pricing, some discounts, and after hours upcharges. And then visually, do you want to show your customer maintenance plan pricing? Your system has a maintenance plan feature. You can add maintenance plans to your customers, and then it will automatically add the maintenance plan pricing from your pricing defaults page to any job in the future for that maintenance plan customer. But if they are not a maintenance plan customer, it will show the savings, but it will say available savings. Maybe you don't want to show the available savings if they signed up for a maintenance plan, and you can toggle that off here so it will take out the savings. And then do you want to view line item amounts and quantities? So maybe you don't want your customer to see the individual line item pricing. If you turn this off, it will still show the name and details of all of the items. It just won't show any individual pricing for that. It'll just show a total at the bottom. So that's up to you. If you want to update those visual settings, you do that from the proposal details. All right, when you're done, you would click Save. Next is a featured image. So this allows you to tap and either pull images from your price book if you already have images uploaded. You can go to your image library, which is just your entire image library in your system, or you can tap New to take a photo or upload from your camera roll. Once you select a photo, tap Save. This image will show up when you are doing proposal comparisons, and it will show up when you're presenting, so you can see what maybe a piece of equipment looks like. Next is adding products. So in the when you're adding products, a couple details about this. You can search through your folders. You can type in the search here what you want. You can navigate through different price book folders. But we are going to show how to add a custom line item today. Custom line items are items that are not in your price book. Maybe it's something that you can't find exactly what you're looking for, and I just for today for this specific job need to add something. Tap custom line item. You can name this item. put in the price, the quantity. Do we want to charge tax on this? Yes or no? And then a description. When you're done, you will tap Add Item. That will then add to the queue below here. And you can add as many items as you want. When you're ready, tap Add. And so let's say that we are doing a furnace install for this customer, some type of large install. I'm going to go into my price book and we can look at favorites. So I knew that I would be presenting this today, so I went ahead and favorited my furnace install and my furnace install labor. Recents, really nice recents here. If you're using the same items over and over again, you can just click to recents and find those here. And of course, the way you organize your price book is important because I already know I'm doing a furnace install. I'm just going to go to my installs folder, go to my furnace installs, and add my furnace install here. I also would like to add my labor. So let's add my labor. Let's say it is going to take us 3 hours. So we will add a quantity of 3 under labor. And everything is added to the queue. If you tap this little arrow here, we can see I have my furnace install as the service. I got my labor and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to tap Add. You can reorder these if you want. Just tap and drag to put them in the order that you want. If you want to add an item as a recommended item, you can slide your finger to the right and tap Recommend. That will put it in a recommended item section and take it out of the product section. So we can see the total here is from my products, but maybe I want to also recommend an additional service or an additional product. And if the customer decides, yes, I would like to go with that today, you can just tap the plus button here to add it back to the product section, which will then charge it to the customer. If I want to delete an item, slide my finger to the left and tap delete. If you want to update the taxes, you tap here and then update the tax group. Maybe I'm working with a school and I need to update the tax to 0%, something like that. Tap OK to make those changes. We will see the total and the savings I was talking about. You can see here, this would be the savings that this customer is getting for being a maintenance plan customer. And this is a larger project. So maybe I'm talking with the customer. I tell them, it's going to be $59.72.90. And they're like, that's just a little more than what I can afford right now. And you end up, essentially losing the sale, not for anything that you did, but because the customer just can't afford it. That is where financing comes in to save the day. To offer financing, you would offer financing on proposals. So financing says right here, offer financing is only available on proposals because that is typically a large ticket item that your customer would need to think about first and accept before moving on. So let's offer some financing to Emily here so she can get the service that she wants and needs, and we can get the sale. So we will tap offer financing. Now your financing does need to be set up in your system first for these options to be available. You will select the plan that you want to offer to the customer. Let's say we'll do the no interest for 6 months. And then we have our amount to finance. It will show you the suggested monthly payments, the term, and all the details. And then tap save. That's going to add this as a recommended item first. So we haven't started up, the customer has not started applying for financing just yet. This would be used to explain to the customer, we do have this available. Instead of paying almost 6 grand today, you could pay 995.50 a month and get the service that you need. If the customer says yes, you will tap apply now. And then that will just take you through the application process. And this is where you would either give your customer your device and they can fill out the info, or collect the information from them and submit. So we are not going to submit a real application right now, so we're not going to click submit, but just know once you submit this, it is an instant approval. You will know whether or not the customer has been approved. If they are not approved, they will receive a message from the lender letting them know why. If they are approved, then you will be able to continue forward with the job, convert this to an invoice, and then you'll be able to use the loan money to, pay for the job. You will receive a lump sum minus a dealer fee to your bank account once the job is finished and you accept payment from the loan. Let's tap back here. And then you can add notes to the proposal. These notes are customer facing. So this would be anything you would want your customer to see when they view the proposal. Now we're ready to go. We have our pricing, we have our financing option ready to go, and we will tap present proposal. From here is the image that we selected, so we're able to see that. We can view this as a PDF. Maybe, you prefer the PDF view, which will have your logo at the top. Also, it will show the image, the featured image. Some people just prefer this. It's showing the exact same information. It's just a different way to view. And when you're ready, you can either send this to the customer and they can review the proposal online and accept it. If they accept it online, you'll get a message that it was signed, and you'll also be able to see in the job that that was signed. Or if you're ready to go right now, you can convert to invoice. When you tap convert to invoice, it will create a new invoice and put everything from the proposal on that invoice. And really, everything that we went over, adding products to the price book, updating taxes, viewing the savings, editing details, those things are exactly the same process when creating an invoice from scratch. The only difference here would be you cannot add financing to an invoice. You would add it to the proposal first, and then when you convert to invoice, it would come over with that. You can present the invoice just like we presented the proposal. And then you can process a payment. Process payment will process through WEX FSM and send the money to your bank account. Record payment is if you're processing outside of WEX FSM. An example of that would be if you're taking a cash payment. You would still need to take that cash to the bank. And then you can send the invoice to the customer and they can make a payment online. For today's example, let's do record payment. Confirm the amount. Tap next. Payment type. Now, if you are using the financing, you would choose process payment. And then that would give you the financing option there. But we are not able to do that in the test system because we don't want to submit a real application here. So just as an example, say they paid with a check today. Add the check number and then tap record payment. Once a invoice or a proposal is completed, you will be able to see that on the admin page for those. So we can see here, this is our proposal. And then if we go back and go to invoices, we can see our invoices here. Slide your finger to the right, you can send, view PDF, process payment, and record payment. Slide your finger to the left and you'll be able to delete. Next, let's take a look at maintenance plans. If you want to add a maintenance plan, you can tap maintenance plans. Any maintenance plans that this customer already has, you'll be able to see here. If you want to add a new maintenance plan, you will tap New. Select which plan you want to sign them up for. Let's say the Comfort Club plan. And then really these templates for your maintenance plans are already set up. So it's got all the information that you need. You can make adjustments if you want. Let's say I want to change the pricing, to 150 for this customer. You can tag a sales agent if you want to track who is signing up customers for maintenance plans. You can grab a signature from the customer here, and then, they can just use their finger to sign. And when you're ready, tap next. Oh, if they sign, you do need to put their name. This is where you select your service windows. We're going to go out and do an AC cleaning in the spring and a heat cleaning in the fall. And since we're in January, we want to make sure that January to June is our first service window that we will go to. Determine who you will communicate with when it's time to schedule the maintenance plan or the maintenance visits, and then taking payment. If you want to take payment just as a one-time payment, you can do that right here. You could set them up on a payment plan and set their frequency that will allow you to take their card or bank account information, and then it will auto debit. This is best paired with the until canceled option. And everything that we're going over here today, you can also add a maintenance plan this same exact way to an invoice if you want to take payment from an invoice. For today, let's say we will just take a one-time payment of 150 and we'll record a payment for that. And we are doing a payment without an invoice, but we're applying the entire payment to this maintenance plan. And tap next. Let's say they are paying cash and record payment. This has now added the maintenance plan to the customer. They'll be registered as a maintenance plan customer in your system. And that is maintenance plans. Next, let's go over proposal comparisons. The proposal comparisons is actually a very simple tool. You just have to know how it works. The way proposal comparisons work, first, you would build out your individual proposals. And so that is just an important part to know. If you already have proposals set up, maybe you have some templates of different pieces of equipment that you like to offer often, create those proposals first. If we were doing that now, we would go to the proposals section and I would build out my individual proposals. Let's say I want to do a good, better, best comparison. I wouldn't start with proposal comparisons. I would start by making a good proposal and fill out all the info, a better proposal, fill out the info, and a best proposal. So now I have my three different options. Then the proposal comparison tool will simply allow you to select proposals and pull them all together. So we're going to tap New, and we will select proposals to compare. Now, if you do have a proposal comparison already preset, this is kind of like where the groundwork that you set up comes in play. It's very easy for your technician if you've already made a proposal comparison. You can just copy that over and now you already have what you need. But if you're building it from scratch, you will do select proposals to compare. First, it will show you your favorite proposals. So favoriting your proposals does come in handy here. It can help with speed of the process. And we are going to select the good furnace proposal, the better, and the best, and hit create. And now you edit and update this to make this unique. Maybe I want this to say, good. And then option 2 would be better. And then option 3 would be best. You can also update the colors here if you want. You just tap color, select a new color, and then tap save. And you can do that for all three. You can select up to 9 proposals. For this, we just are selecting 3. The groundwork was already done because we created the individual proposals, and now we're ready to show the comparison. Present proposal comparison. And now I'm standing with the customer. I'm ready to show it to them. And then I can say, this is a good option. This is our cheapest option, our budget option. We have our better option here. Here are the details of this. This is our most popular. And then if you really want to go all out, here are the benefits of this best option. And makes it really easy just to flip back and forth between these in the moment. Or if they're not with you, you can send this to the customer and then they will be able to review it. And they'll be able to see each option and review and sign. When they sign it, you'll get a message that it has been signed. All right. And so now let's go back. And we have 2 more topics before we get into our Q&A. Purchase orders and review requests. Purchase orders will allow you to order parts from the field. So I look at my truck, I don't have the part that I need. We're gonna have to order a part. I can just open the app, go to purchase orders, tap new to create a new PO for this job. Am I gonna pick it up or get it delivered? Let's say it's right down the street. Let me order it now and then I'll go pick it up. Select your supplier. Let's say we will order from Wilson Supply. Now, you do need to have your suppliers and your catalogs and everything set up beforehand for these options to be available. Tap Create. And then tap Add Items to see your supplier catalog. Same as the price book, we're just looking for the things we need. Let's say that I actually need these 2 parts and tap Add. Once you have the parts you want to order, you can sign it, hit Complete, and send purchase order. You'll select who the recipient will be. This is typically, who's working the counter at the supplier office, and then tap Send. And now that has been sent to the supplier. They'll be able to fulfill the order, and then I can go pick it up when it's ready. And finally, you can send review requests, which is getting your customers to give you a good review. You had an amazing time with the customer. They are just speaking your praises. We need to document that so others can see, and maybe we can get some more jobs from that word of mouth. You will tap review requests, tap new, and then select who you want to send this to. So tap send. And that will simply send out a message to the customer that will already have your review request links that will allow them to link out to maybe your website, your Google profile page, whatever it is, whatever destination you are taking reviews, you can set that up from the desktop side. All right. That is all the information that we have for today's presentation. I hope that you learned something, but we're going to move to our Q&A now. Before we do, I just want to say thanks so much for joining. My name is Mark with WEX Field Service Management, and this has been Mobile App Advanced.